vacuum into his stun or the vacuum into a slider stun and just cleave through absolutely everything. And that's where the Daedalus is going to maximize his damage output. Bristle just not feeling as tanky and scary as he should.
In the tide, though, he does get off the boulder smash, comboing nicely, but doesn't want to engage with that Aegis to worry about Miracle and he hits structures, he focuses on objectives, and then Liquid walk away, apparently scot-free. Piling in for Liquid. And if you're the captain of LFY now, what's the game plan? Aegis is going to wear out pretty soon here. What do you look to do? Keep
the Bat and Disruptor back. These heroes cannot get caught. These are the two most important heroes to win a team fight as far as positioning goes. Bristleback obviously is important, does damage, has lots of items, same for the Lina, but their positioning is less important than these big playmaking heroes like Batrider. His lasso on the Sven's BKB, Disruptor's Ag Static Storm. These are your items, same for the Lina, but their positioning is less important than these
damage room. Well, Monet getting ripped to shreds. Now back in. A very timely Yules. The Static Storm's there, forcing Miracle back on his heels, but still, he's tanky. Gia comes in.
Four-man crush.
Great crush. No follow-up. They disengaged. They got the CM. They timed out the double damage rune, and now they pull Matumba back in. But do you really want to go on the bear? I don't think that's the hero you focus. They even walk through the wall and into trouble. Miracle re-engages, but it's straight onto Inflame. A bit too tanky for now. He survives. GH. Laguna thrown out. It stays alive. The Yule Scepter touches the Laguna. Liquid, are you kidding me? They stay through it all. They walk away with the Lina, and now they look for more. Miracle does not have Aegis, so Monet would love to get this kill. Quill's getting spammed, but able to blink away. He retreats. Ooh. That was a sick play right there. And painful for LFY too.
We are seeing the Sven with his shorter BKB duration not able to secure kills as easily. When his second his BKB wears off there, Halberd gets thrown out. And when Liquid reinitiate that second fight that broke out, Halberd instantly on the Sven's blinking. This item is doing wonders as far as dealing with the Sven goes, but you've got to be able to survive his BKB to get it off. And that was exactly what Bristle barely managed to do. The Static Storm wasn't great coming out from DDC. It kind of caused this like bit of a dead zone, which Liquid couldn't pass, but it didn't actually secure any big kills. You really want to be the ones initiating, trying to drop that on a Darkseer or a Sven, a Slardar even. You need to find a kill off of the Static Storm. You can't just use it to save your teammates. And the end result is Liquid, while they don't convincingly win the fight, also don't suffer any big losses and are able to maintain big advantage and a big lead in this game.
Again, we're 43 minutes in. No real item progression here on the Batrider. You got the Yule Scepter. He still can't jump into Liquid. Like, unless they have a clear line of initiation, he jumps in. He's getting Storm Bolted, crushed. The heroes that he wants to go on are very tanky. He doesn't have the BKB, he doesn't have a way to disengage. He's actually building towards an Aghanim Scepter now, which is kind of an unusual bat item. We saw it a bit when the Ags was first introduced, but generally teams with Batrider are able to start the fight gods. It's been just Sven running in and blink BKB stun and just start hitting you with God's Strength.
The nice thing is the Ags plays very well against the Wombo combo because Darkseer Slatter are always going to be blinking next to each other when they initiate. Same for the Darkseer Sven. Darkseer blink vacuum in, Sven blink stun. If Batrider positions well, he should be able to counterplay that by lassoing not one but two heroes. So I do like the item pickup.
He does have to counterplay.
Yes, he can't be the one getting. If he gets caught by Liquid's initiation, team fight over.
And
I
don't even think he can go into them unless he's got like a massive numerical advantage, because he's just going to get stunned and then he's dead.
Diffusal pickup for Bristleback. Interesting. Not something you'd normally expect to see.
Purge off the war cry and the battle cry, I believe you can also purge.
From the Lone Druid?
Yeah,
yes,
so that's a lot of bonus armor.
Yeah, definitely good spells to take. The war cry is 20 armor. That's an absurd amount of armor to be able to remove instantly.
The problem is there's a lot of targets that have to purge. That's the worry here. It's a late diffusal. We'll see how it pays off for Monet. Out pretty far mid. Liquid marching in, they grabbed the Aegis, and Miracle, he knows one direction at this point it seems, and that way is forward, onwards, and hopefully upwards. They are beating this bear down though, rather rapidly. Gets hit by the boulder smash. LFY would love to kill
Miracle
it off.
wants to jump the back lines. That's why he's ignoring
the vision up the hill.
He's going to see DVC in a second.
He's blind for now, but he's got an opportunity up top. Inflame could be his target. There's a dire sentry here. Miracle on the boundary. It's almost like he knows.
Yeah, tiny little bit of jitter there. It was, I believe, a smidgen of lag.
Oh, that sentry, if it's just like an inch farther out, they jump Miracle, they pull him in, and it could have been a rare opportunity where the team wasn't there to counterplay.
Well, Miracle may not get his chance to jump the Batrider. That's the key thing here. Jump the Bat or the Disruptor. I want to say Bat's the better target. As long as you BKB first, you're not too worried about the Ag Static Storm. So if you're initiating the Bat, you take him out. Yeah, there's a Static Storm, but you've already got off your key Blink BKB. Darkseer, as long as he's not getting caught, can help you out with a Pipe, a Greaves. He doesn't need friends to help him out, and he's got an Aegis. So even if there isn't counterplay, he goes down once. Liquid can then charge in forward, vacuum, Slaughter Crush, bail Miracle out.
All hangs in the balance here for LFY in game one.
He's going in.
Pick. Miracle though, did poke his head into sentry range. They know. Probably hoping that he shows himself again, but he's going to back up to greener pastures, a safer climb, and LFY do D-ward here immediately. It looks like Liquid tried to pull a fast one on them. Kuro going for a sneaky uphill ward, but that is dealt with early.
Yeah, this bottom lane needs to be addressed. It's a pretty big creep wave, so it looks like the bear is going to be sent down there. While Liquid just wait, regroup, continue to keep all these lanes pushed out, wait for a pick to present itself. They've got double cheese, by the way. They've managed to save the second and the third cheese, or the first two cheeses, but from the second and third Roshan, and two cheeses and an Aegis. As we'll see how things develop.
And an MKB soon for Miracle as well. Just to round out the inventory. A little more. Matumba taunting Apfu.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, as far as heroes to play when things are a bit jittery or shaky, Air Spirit definitely not high on that list.
By the way, Inflame is like really, like cobbling together different ideas here. Now it's the Ethereal Blade he wants. So says screw the eggs. What other items can win my team the game? But it's just like, to me, it shows how hard the game is for LFY now. Like he's just not sure what to get.
Yep. I mean, for him, it's going to be a game of positioning and play. Items can boost up. I don't think the Ethereal Blade's Axie9 that's going to help a whole lot. If you're saving a teammate with an Ethereal Blade, you may as well save them with a Blink Lasso on that BKB Sven. So I'm not convinced it's an item that's going to be good for him. I'd much rather see the Ags or a BKB that we talked about much earlier on in the game. But yes, this game is going to be very tricky for LFY. They are on high ground defense from here on out, while this Aegis and double cheese is in play. And
their high ground defense is decent, but I wouldn't call it amazing here, especially late game when the tower hitters are either ultra tanky, like the Lone Druid is going to sit back, the Spirit Bear they don't have great setup for it, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, unless Afu pulls out the penalty kick of his life.
Well, and the result is, yeah, 4K invest for a support, invest in items like this. He could have had a 4-staff earlier, an extra 4-staff to save your Bristle when he's getting chased down on numerous occasions, or to save a different teammate. Well, there's a lot of other items that could have been effective this game as a support like this. He could have had hope that this item wins you a team fight, and we have just not seen that for LFY yet.
If place to win a team fight, it would probably be this high ground. But Liquid aren't cooperating.
Oh, another DD-LD.
The DD Haze special potentially coming to a theater near you if Miracle checks out bottom.
Yeah. He may just start chipping on the tower here with this, knowing he's got the Aegis.
I mean, I don't know if I would call it chipping when Sven's hitting for 550 an attack without God Strength.
Chunking at, maybe.
Yeah.
Just carving.
Ravaging.
Carving big pieces of stone out of those towers and tearing them apart.
He waits. He waits.
There's a dire ward that on the high ground that will spot a lot.
Do we have a gem on Liquid at this point? Yeah, there is one on GH.
That's a much needed D ward to take out all those annoying pesky wards, just trying to give LFY whatever defensive vision they can have to protect themselves from that Sven play. And Liquid smoking in up top.
We'll never see this coming, LFY. Or so Liquid hope.
They crushed an Iron Shell creep wave, but hey, you know,
they creeps do your bidding.
They also just planted an Obs by a sentry, so that's...
and Bristle marches in. Monet, he won that ward.
They're going to stay up here, possibly in the trees. GH.
The thing is, it's a lot less obvious that Liquid are doing this when all the lanes are pushed than if, you know, say LFY went for the smoke play, but the smoke is going to be wearing off relatively soon. So Liquid wanting a clean opportunity. They don't want to take too many risks here. They do respect that static storm, that glimpse potential counterplay, and they will play it safe. But hey, creeps march in. They start to do some damage to LFY morale, killing off their beloved effigies. Now Liquid gonna creep in again, slowly but surely. The ward wars rage on. At 48 minutes though, slow and steady going by Liquid.
And for LFY, it's let's wait out this Aegis. That's the overall idea and game plan here. You know, there's about a minute left on that. You need to find yourselves in a position where if Sven wants to push, you can jump in with a lasso and kill him. With an Aegis, not really all too possible. Wait out this Aegis. Overall idea and game plan.
Liquid creep in. Miracle's here, so Arcane Rune. At that lower cooldown God Strength if he wants to activate it.
Yeah, I feel like he may just want to throw it and hit some buildings. They're going to last with the bear. This could actually enable Miracle.
Yeah, he says, great, you blast with the bear, and now they're going to back Static Storm, get strong. It hits basically nothing. Oh, the Spirit Bear, that's not what LFI need. A super is deleted by Miracle. A godly level of farm on this Sven. Afu finally can get forward. They lock onto the Sven. Aegis wearing off relatively soon. Chasing forward. Can they get the kill? Miracle caught within. Now the magnetize effect. Monet closes in on purple enemy number one. They want to save the beast. They do finally bring him down. No, not quite. Instead, Bristleback will fall, and Nicole hangs on, turns around, just keeps on wailing. Just two tag.
Liquid secured. They had a great early game, but we saw that LFY team fight coordination turn things around. They managed to put together some great team fights with the Lena Bloodstone getting up to 20 charges. Afu's Earth Spirit was doing Afu things, but ultimately once Liquid hit their items, once they got the Blink Daggers up, that nation turned things around. They managed to put together some great team fights with the Lena Bloodstone getting up to 20 charges. Afu's Earth Spirit was doing Afu things, but Ultimately, once Liquid hit their items, once they got the Blink Daggers up, that nation turned things around. They managed to put together some great team fights with the Lena Bloodstone getting up to 20 charges. Afu's Earth Spirit was doing Afu things, but ultimately, once Liquid hit their items, once they got the Blink Daggers up, that nation turned things around. They managed to put together some great team fights with the Lena Bloodstone getting up to 20 charges. Afu's Earth Spirit was doing Afu things, but ultimately, once Liquid hit their items, once they got the Blink Daggers up, that nation turned things around. They managed to put together some great team fights with the Lena Bloodstone getting up to 20 charges. Afu's Earth Spirit was doing Afu things, but ultimately, once Liquid hit their items, once they got the Blink Daggers up, that
Now for a couple of nights, need to rebuild myself to come alive. It don't make sense.
vacuum into his stun or the vacuum into a slider stun and just cleave through absolutely everything. And that's where the Daedalus is going to maximize his damage output. Bristle just not feeling as tanky and scary as he should.
In the tide though, he does get off the boulder smash, comboing nicely, but doesn't want to engage with that Aegis to worry about Miracle and he hits structures, he focuses on objectives, and then Liquid walk away, apparently scot-free. Ducks here.
There's just too many heroes to ban. There's too many heroes that are at the same level of strength, which makes drafting a little bit tough right now.
So all the same bans.
Same. And CS.
Same pick.
CM.
This time it wasn't Ducks your first pick though.
Did they the way they did first start?
Yes, but they
Around her being hard to kill and
Big question regarding the lone druid then, Fogged, because, I mean, does that make sense to you? Did Matumbaman cause that much of a ruckus with it previously?
I think it's just so much their comfort. Death Prophet may be like super good versus it because of the way the interaction with the bear and the Spirit Siphon works and like exorcism and all that, but I think it just gives Liquid too much access into like the very late stages of the game.
Okay.
Like it just lets them scale indefinitely pretty much.
that was the only hero that I was thinking of last game where I was like, maybe they should actually ban this. And just because of the fact that it's very difficult to gank mid due to the Nightmare
Yeah.
or the
That's
Savage Roar.
That's actually a
I
very
think
good
that's
call.
the most important thing because the lone druid is very hard to gank. Like with the way LGD has been playing, they like to roam and pressure mid, and they specifically pick the DP right away. It tells a lot, you know. For Liquid, you read into the situation. Oh, they want to probably put a lot of pressure in mid. They went for the DP right away. So yeah, they do not want to go up against your lone druid because you can use your Savage Roar onto the DP when your supports come in to gank.
I wish shoulder pads were still a thing.
They are, you're wearing some right now.
I know, this doesn't really have many.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, just, you know, proper, like, big metal spiky shoulder pads.
Oh, okay.
Why is that not back in fashion?
What if you have to like scratch your nose on your shoulder?
Because you could just use your shoulder.
Dead.
Just,
Your shoulder spike?
Yeah.
I think it work. It's a
it's a fashion statement I want back.
nose picked as well.
Exactly. So you see what you understand me. You're on the same wavelength.
Multi-purpose, man.
Sven has been taken away by Liquid this time. Now that's Europe was destroying on previously.
It backs up Death Prophet well. And as we saw last game with enough minus armor, Bristleback, like to kill Bristleback, you just need damage amplification, ideally, and just like a lot of damage.
I mean, it says a lot about Liquid. They think Sven is really good against Bristleback as well. The last game they picked Sven into Bristleback, now they pick Bristleback and they ban the Sven. So it tells you that the team thinks that that matchup is really in favor of Sven.
And there's nothing more than just a respect bound attitude there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best team fight hero. Other than the other two that are banned.
I mean, and also because we mentioned a bit about the mid matchup, like that's the hero that can put a lot of pressure on the mid lane. And you know that with a DP allows a lot of rotations to happen because of the Spirit Siphon. You slow the target and you just run in with a support setup, free setup. Void DP though, this game.
It's kind of like their secret match then. So no faces Void in the last series, but now it's coming in once the other better heroes are gone.
Yeah, good to combo with Death Prophet, good versus Bristle to kind of just ignore him until he gets a Lotus Orb. Time dilation, very strong.
Really good against Bristle too because of the he has all these spam mobile skills. So wait till he casts them and then time delay, and then he can't build up his damage, his movement speed.
You have to get Lotus Orb on
Yeah,
Bristle.
you have to.
Lotus Orb is pretty useful for that.
It's good against Death Prophet too.
Yeah, armor. I mean, it's a bit annoying for the Bristleback initially, but after you get your Lotus Orb, you'll be fine.
Yeah, actually, Lotus Orb is super good on Bristle this game. If you like Reflect Spirit Siphon, of course, to remove the time dilation, it's just a very good all-around item here for the armor too.
I like seeing this camera shot. This is my
This is
favorite.
cool,
Just
yeah.
because you can see the discussion that's being had as well.
Have we had this one too much?
No,
I feel like I
no,
haven't
they
seen like
cut
this
away
exact
very quickly.
comparison. Yeah, this is cool. I actually like seeing both of them like.
So
Is
that's
it
DDC and
is it
Kuroki.
time for Naga though? Like I like Naga against Void and DP.
Have we seen a Naga this entire
No, because Naga is really weak now.
We've
Yeah.
seen one
One
from
game.
OG.
Okay, that was an OG Naga.
OG likes to pick Naga against Faceless Void and DP. Like this kind of big cooldown heroes.
I like Starter as a Void solution as well though, because once you get Blink Dagger, you can actually help kill him within the period that you need to before he gets to use Time Walk. Because you just Blink Stun, you use Amp Damage, and maybe like a Medallion as well. You can actually just kill him.
And versus Death Prophet too, like you get that kind of, you know, you don't really have like super bursty heroes, but Corrosive Haze kind of makes your rest of your heroes more bursty.
So they'll need something right-click heavy, whether it's a Jug or something, not sure, but some right-click carry. This will cover some of that, but not all of it.
They're leaving Afu's hero for last. Interesting.
Yep.
Not really seeing much 4 players getting their hero picked last.
Yeah, but still, like FGD went for.
Ooh, it's back.
Oh, we saw this in the secret game versus a Death Prophet. You just get ruptured and you can't really chase, and you can just disengage the fight when Exorcism, because Exorcism has a very long cooldown, while Rupture is a super low cooldown.
Also, I think Bloodseeker is pretty good against DP mid as well, just because if stuff's happening across the map, Bloodseeker gets a lot of plus damage, and a simple rotation like a Frostbite could definitely be a kill.
Old school people used to talk about it versus Faceless Void as well, because you can the Blood Right is incredibly good versus the Time Walk, and inside of the Chronosphere, like the Chrono's down, you put Blood Right behind it.
Yeah, we saw Secret pull this one out before.
Not sure though, like Bloodseeker is always a hero that it's a lot of question marks. You don't. It's like a hero that can do really well, but at the same time, things could go really bad for the hero. It's a very unstable hero.
There's a lot of things you need too. You need like magic immunity. You need some kind of a farming item, Midas plus something perhaps, and then you're like, okay, what utility items do I get? Do I go Solar Crest? Do I get Ags? I feel like the build isn't solidified yet. The best build.
I really like the Midas Ags build though, because you get your level 20 faster. You get that 14% increased rupture. Then you have 2 ruptures, so it's like
On a 40-second cooldown. Like,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
So good.
It's super strong. Thing is that right now, Liquid has 3 3 melee cores versus Void, Death Prophet, and Darkseer. So I feel like that's a little bit scary for them.
Expectations for that last ban as well.
Conker, probably. That's one of her last remaining heroes for Arfu, and then Void, Darkseer. Pretty good setup for Conker.
Okay.
Good for protecting Death
Yeah, and
Prophet too.
Conker is really good against like the Slada, Bloodseeker, like heroes that run around, high movement speed, 1 X mark, you catch them. I think that would be probably the best hero right now left remaining for LGD.
So maybe taking away the boat thrower.
We have said that, you know, this meta is a lot about this heavy team fight. I mean, looking at LFY's lineup, if they get a Kunkka there, it's like everyone has this massive team fight.
Conker DP, dude, that's really awesome. You keep the DP alive in a fight. You can get ruptured, but you just drop the boat over the DP, keep her alive.
That sounds like a great pick.
The Rum, super good.
It's more worried about the sinking, I
Okay.
guess.
Shaker.
More melee heroes,
Yeah, that's 4 melee.
so that the chrono can be more.
They need more stuns though. They genuinely do, because Slardar alone is not going to ensure that they
Yeah,
kill pieces
but the
fight.
thing is like the chrono is
There it
gonna,
is.
or the chrono is just gonna, I don't know. It's just very difficult to see Liquid doing very well in the team fights. But in the lane, if they do well, I can see that happening.
So it's mid Bristle then, and it's Matumba Bloodseeker.
He could go mid.
He could go mid Bloodseeker, I guess.
They could
Miracle
aggro
played
try.
it last time.
Oh, it's a support Earthshaker, so it's a core Slar.
I'm still on the LGD train.
Yeah, I love LFY's lineup this game as well.
You guys seem smitten. Just want to clarify, is there anybody wanting to deviate from that path?
Well, after that, no.
No? Draft has convinced you?
Yeah, it's their lineup's definitely better. I can see what Liquid can do with their lineup, I guess, but it's definitely harder to execute. And
Okay.
Very volatile.
A volatile liquid.
Yeah.
It's like GCSE science. We'll leave it there then. Let's head over to your casting duo as they're preparing to see if we see a third. Matumba's family in the crowd could very well see their friend slash family slash son succeed in that grand finals, or we'll see a third. Let's find out with your casters.
Thank you very much, Alex. That's right, we're live here from the floor of the VTB Ice Palace. Gods, LFY said, you know, we didn't really have enough team fight last game. We had to lean a mid. There wasn't much of a follow-up to the Disruptor. So they said, let's pick all the team fight spells in game number 2.
They
What do you
aren't going to
think?
be out team for this time. First 2 pick Death Prophet. They're like, they know what picks they want. They say, look, other teams may not be first 2 picking these series, but we will. We're LFY. We went out group stage for a reason. So I'm with the panel. I like LFY's draft. You know, they're sticking to their guns and going to try and make it work against Team Liquid.
And I think perhaps even bigger than, like, yeah, they have this huge team fight, they got Super Zero. Because last game, he got banned out in the second stage. I like the adjustment a lot from LFY, recognizing if they don't get Super Zero early, they probably don't get it at all. And frankly, like, Lina just didn't feel like his hero. He wasn't able to play it the way Sumail did. They don't really want to help Super as much. At least it doesn't seem to be the case as what, say, EG has been doing for Sumail. And so I think someone who's a little more self-sufficient and a little bit more of a pain in the butt to gank is right up his alley.
It's also always a dream Void game when you're against this many melee heroes. The heroes had an insane win rate at this tournament, although the last couple times we've seen it picked, it has lost. Before that, it was like 9-0. Now it's like 9-2.
Great against Bristleback, you know, to ensure you can hit him from the right side and just keep him contained to the team fights. It's 4 melee against a Void Kunkka, like Darkseer on paper. Ugh, that just feels icky.
It is. The Bloodseeker is actually quite good against the Void, even though he's a melee hero. But as a whole, yeah, this is a dream Void game. Love seeing Void with Darkseer. It guarantees that even an underfarmed Void or a Void with just treads and an Iron Shell can actually kill heroes. It's a great way of amping up melee heroes' damages when they may be lacking items.
So it is a core shaker for Miracle, Looks like he'll be the mid laner on the Shaker. They're going to run the safe lane Bloodseeker. Normally when we've seen the Bloodseeker picks, they do tend to go mid. Not the case this time. So does the way that Liquid are arranging their lanes do anything for you here? Is this a bit of a surprise? Do you think LFY might struggle with these particular matchups? I mean, panel said if Liquid have a good laning stage, maybe they have a chance, but are they going to have that laning stage? What do you think?
It looks all right. I think Bloodseeker is a very good matchup against Darkseer. You have that constant sustain from Blood Rage. You have great damage output. Very easy to last hit, deny, and crush the Darkseer in CS. So I do feel like Liquid should have an okay time with these lanes.
They might have an okay time sniping a Courier.
That's a cheeky little play you can always do, but the Courier is stuck back at the base.
He has already skilled up Crush, so he's not going to have that extra move speed to help chase it down. Miracle and GH early on. Going to be tag teaming super here. How does the mid core Shaker fare against DP?
I want to say it's okay, but not great. You can't really get in close to get totem hits and harass off, but once you get a few levels with like a rotation from a Slaughter, there's good kill potential. It just requires that support. So we'll see how Miracle can do. He should manage to get some CS all right. Like Super's not going to be a huge menace in terms of like massive amounts of harass, but it's not going to be a lane where Miracle can dominate like we've seen other Shakers do against Embers.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up that Shaker Ember, but this lane could be hard. In Flame, trapped out. Good body box from GH. Nice combo, and the salve actually going to save him for now. GH goes deeper. He wants this first blood. He's going to grab it, and Kuro there with the teamwork. Able to tank a few tower shots, ensures GH's retreat. Super, meanwhile, dropping pretty low here mid, so to his Miracle, he did south back up.
That was a great tango from the chasing Slaughter. He manages to prevent the Darkseer juking with a salve by giving vision by chopping down some trees. Really nicely played, and GH getting a first blood. We can see the prowess in this Bloodseeker versus Darkseer matchup already kicking in, and Darkseer can't lane. He's actually got to go jungle.
And
it's so hard to
already the Slaughter is waiting for him. GH has made the rotation to try and find the Darkseer. He's not at the northern jungle. He is tucked quite a bit farther away, so for now should be fine. The one lane that we haven't talked about yet, Gods, is this lane that Monet is in, where I don't know if I've seen a Bristleback have 0 CS at 2 minutes, even without help. Mind control is not getting much for now.
We see rotations on mid. Miracle very low. Kunkka is in the neighborhood. Maybe looking to swoop on in for this kill. But without a Spirit Siphon, not an easy one to do. I think the bigger claim could be sniping this Courier. It's pre-3 minutes. The call should have been made that he's bottle crowing. I would love to see Afu trying to snipe this one on its way back.
They saw GH moving around here just for a moment with his haste. He is trying to sneak in on that Shaker mid. As Super gets baited forward. Afu
barely misses.
Swinging a miss here. The Fissure blocks him on the wrong side, but he has a little avenue to move away. Not far enough though. Caught out and punished. Afu will go down. Miracle just long enough with the Fissure. Looked like there was a little room for Kunkka to squeak through, but he's had a bit too much rum as of late, and that belly couldn't slide through.
That Kunkka, you know, it's like a risky play to go for. If he gets the kill, it puts Death Prophet in a great position to succeed in this lane, but instead he gets turned around on him, and now Shaker is looking like he can kind of stabilize this lane. Bottle crowing for a second time now. It's not an easy lane for Shaker, and that's why you've got to go for this bottle crow technique, but
in the meanwhile, Mind Control going in on the bottom lane. He wants this DDC kill. He got slightly juked around the trees. The quills aren't quite enough. He will back away for now, and while that was happening, the Slardar is being pursued, but there's nothing to corral GH. So Liquid, a strong start here in the lanes. They're about even as far as like the CS department goes, but it's the lane pressure ramping up. You can see the Bristleback getting more difficult for the Void dual lane to deal with, and the kills have been coming in.
Yeah, this is where the Void does not beat the Bristle, is kind of this early game laning stage. You don't get completely beaten down. You get your magic stick charges. You can always heal up if he stacks too many quills on you, but you can't keep Bristle out of the lane. You love to run these carries against offlane Bristles that can at least threaten to kill him, but Void is not one of them.
Not unless they're going to bring in a third hero and catch him a bit low, but for now, Afu's got his hands full trying to protect this mid lane, and again, that's all because of GH, who's just been all over the place as the Slardar. Already has the Tranquil Boots complete, so off to a great start. And I mean, you mentioned the Darkseer struggles, Gods. They do continue. 21 denies up in that top lane. And he's sent packing back to the base again. Second time he's had to make a trip back to the fountain. Say what you will about the Bristle, but he is staying in the lane, even if he's struggling a bit.
Absolutely. Mid lane being secured by Miracle, finding a regen rune. He's just being disruptive, spamming spells. He's actually out CS the Death Prophet in terms of raw last hits. Denies leaning Super's way, but Miracle 113 is looking pretty scary and potent in this mid lane. Once he hits level 6, you look at that kill potential coming in from any +1 helping him out.
Speaking of +1s, Kunkka is taking over top for now. Looks like Darkseer's going to rejoin him, but Bloodseeker not a potential kill for that duo. So just trying to lend a little support as again Slardar slinks around towards mid. He's going to wrap here on the Death Prophet. No, actually just gets the ward down as Monet is farming bottom in the meanwhile. But this ward could set up nicely. It means they know there's no one protecting the Death Prophet, and you can see GH does want to strike. So we'll catch the tail end of this maneuver, but again, the prep was crucial as a third hero is going to rotate top in the meanwhile. Can they find an opening here? Bloodseeker's down to about half HP already as the fight breaks out. Kuroki on the run, Torn having a fish, it will connect to Matumba, but do they have the follow-up? They're going to X him back. Ion shells connect, and Matumba Man now tries to scurry back to freedom. He's not going to make it. While that was happening, though, Death Prophet went down mid, and Kuroki salvages things top. A 2-for-1 around the map. A Bloodseeker traded for a Death Prophet Kunkka. Not a great trade for LFY again.
And the tier 1 mid's actually taking damage after Liquid get that kill. That is well worth it for them. That's the level 6 on Shaker I mentioned. He gets level 6, any +1, you can find kills on the Death Prophet. Slardar rotates in, provides an extra stun. They find the kill. This tower is down to like 400 health already.
I thought Death Prophet was the pushing hero, but apparently Miracle getting things done with the Enchant Totem. His bottom lane mind control tries to play with the trees here. His salves quickly cancel. Monet cages the beast and brings him down, getting him closer and closer to that Chrono. And as we've seen throughout this tournament, Gods, you know, it's, yeah, LFY have this great late game team fight, but the Voids carrying early teleport scrolls can turn the tides on the mid lane. Something Liquid will have to respect as Miracle does get caught out here. Spirit Siphon coming through from behind. Potentially the Slardar rotation can help, but already Super. Early commitment there on the ultimate will find the kill. DDC not able to fully cage GH, but still a nice kill there on the Core Shaker.
Got a little greedy. He wanted to make sure they didn't deny the tower, so he ran in. They don't get the tower denied. The siege creep did get the last hit, so there is a bit of a gold exchange that's, I think, all right for Liquid there. But ultimately,
they just got 2 core kills. They're pretty happy if you're LFY.
Yeah, you're pretty happy. Don't like seeing your tier 1 tower go down. It wasn't Exorcism committed, so it's not like all sunshine and roses for them just yet, but they've got to find a way to use some of these ultis once they get like the Void level 6. They need to get their team active, moving, and pressing forward. But they're kind of underleveled. Like Darkseid just level 5 isn't doing as well as the Bristleback, who's level 6. And across the board, Liquid's heroes are just doing better. The CM aura just really enables them so much more to just harass lanes and win their lanes and pressure LFY.
Well, Chrono is ready. As Monet, see what the item progression ends up being. He's showing the Lincoln Sphere build. We only saw this attempted once by Matumba Man on his Void, and I think it was their series yesterday, and he actually never ended up completing the item because they fell so far behind. Used to be Shadow's favorite build for wings, but against the Bloodseeker, it's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodseeker has a very easy way to pop it with the Blood Rage, but at the same time, you may go into a fight, just try accidentally, maybe it does block something like a Rupture, can be very nice.
Fissure clips DDC, and now Krogi following this up, right? A good static field, or excuse me, Thunderdome is going to hold them back for now. Miracle getting caught by the X. They follow this up with the Spirit Siphon. They don't have the Exorcism, though. The Void could be coming in momentarily. Indeed, it looks like he is. He jumps onto Miracle, still holding onto the Chronosphere. Miracle tries to turn. Enchant Totem, decent damage, but now the bubble on 3. Beautiful catch by Monet, making artwork of this beatdown on Liquid as they try for the turn. Matumba joins the fight. TP out attempted. Is there a way to cancel it? Do they have the damage? Not quite. X is there in the meanwhile, dragging GH back, but he gets the crush. And Afu now on the run. His turn to teleport. Where's your stuns, Liquid? They don't need them. They have the damage. They get the kill anyway. Beautiful catch there with the Chrono, but they lack the follow-up without the Exorcism and without the levels on the supports.
Yeah, that's such a great fight for them if they have Exorcism up and they're able to use it. They still do it okay, get a 2-for-1 trade, but ultimately Liquid have to invest a lot of heroes rotating in, and they do lose their mid, so a mid for supports is actually not all too bad for LFY.
They just need these support levels, it feels like. Once they have them, the damage is, it's always going to be there. You know, unless they've used every single ult, you'll have something to combo with that Chrono.
And they're kind of at this point where Darkseid can't really come and help. He's just trying to catch up a bit on farm and levels at top lane, whereas Bristle was actually able to try and rotate in and offer something, but...
I like this play by LFY Gods. If they get a kill here, this is a tower down with the Exorcism, and an important tower for Roche as well.
This is always a great move. When you see that support take over the safe lane, normally you see it out of 4 positions who need a Blink Dagger like a Slada. Rotate 2-3 heroes, gank them, easy kill, you slow down the blink, and then you can turn it into an objective. If they make this work, it's going to be very much to LFY's advantage.
GH sussing it out, though, as he lurks in the trees.
Miracle's got a haste rune, and he's nearby, though.
A one fight here could be huge for Miracles. He'll be very close to his Blink Dagger at that point. Haste, and he revs up. He's looking for the Kunkka pickoff. In the meanwhile, it looks like Afu does get caught, but a good X is going to drag Miracle back. All the while, GH runs away from Super. Will end up likely going down to the Crypt Storm, even diving into the tower with Sprint. Super wants to finish the kill. He will successfully do so. Miracle limps away, and all the while, they are chasing bottom. They got that Kunkka kill in the end. Good pick off by Miracle there, and now hunting for DDC. Squirms out of the Blood Right in the end, but Kuroki still waiting to pounce now. DDC did not run back to the tower. That may well cost him with the Frostbite coming through. Do they have any fall damage? He's close to the Static Storm, the Torrents there. Afu to the rescue. And backup's coming in now. The Blood Right dropped in a good position, but Tumba Man, however, got X from outside of it. And now without even the Blood can't save the Seeker. He'll go down. Afu, no X cooldown for some time. Oh, the Torrent, it's fishing though. Great catch there by Afu. He wants the Kuro kill too, and he might just get it. Squirming to the high ground, but getting hit by the Thunderstrike. The vision provided, and now Kuro limps back in. He too will fall. All of this long before the blink. Shaker close now, only about 400 gold short, but doesn't have it yet.
That was some serious plays coming out from DDC. Not often you see 5-position supports make flashy moves, but I feel like that's as close as it gets. He baited all those heroes in, had the TP support. He even held onto his Glyphs for the longest time, knowing that he would need it to either cancel TPs or to chase for extra pickoffs. So perfectly played from the Disruptor. Gets LFY a couple kills, but you can see in the net worth, it's still very much Dire favored early game. 2.6k gold lead. All off of just winning their lanes, even though the kills don't favor them.
This is such a big time to kill Miracle. If they can pull it off, they've got the Static Storm. Oh, he's so close to the Blink. He doesn't have it yet. Trapped within the Static Storm. He drops low, and indeed, he will almost fall. They need to stay committed to this kill. He turns around with the Enchant Totem. He won't make it out, so they get the Miracle kill, and they get it in time before the Blink Dagger's ready. Still 300 gold away after that death. That's a crucial kill.
Again, DDC so experienced on this Disruptor. He just waits to make sure they need the Glimpse. He's not going to use it early on. He makes sure if they can't get the kill, he throws it. If they need it, he uses it the last possible second, and a big kill to slow down this Blink Dagger of Miracle's Shaker. Liquid still pressing forward, though.
I mean, the thing with LFY Gods, you know, the panel talked a lot about, oh my god, their team fight is ridiculous, and it certainly is, as we might see a gank here in the Darkseer mid. Tries to make it out. He will. But they can get kills without all those ultimates. Like, you don't have to commit 5 ults to find a pickoff. You can drop, you know, maybe a Static Storm, an X-Torm. Boat is a low cooldown. They can do a lot of damage just chasing heroes with Tauren and X and Surge. So it's not like they have to drop 5 ults to win a fight. And speaking of which, another single ult committed. GH quickly deleted.
Yeah.
Still plenty ready for the next round of push with the Chrono online. The Static Storm cooling down pretty soon. 10 seconds for that. They won't have the Exorcism, but they've got plenty of tools in reserve.
That's actually, yeah, such a perfect way to play the early to mid game that you're talking about. Just throwing 1 or 2 ultis for a solo kill. When it's a core hero, a full position, that's how you want to play the early game. You don't expect to find big 5v5 team fight wombo combos before 30 minutes. Maybe 20 to 30 minutes you might find one, but this pre-20-minute stage, ultis for 1 heroes, ultis for a tower is exactly what you want to see. From Death Prophet Exorcism, taking the top tier 1 tower, Kunkka Ghost Ship taking a kill at mid. They're just using ultis for solo kills, and that's helping catch them back up after a rough laning stage.
Well, Liquid want to make a play with this new shiny Blink Dagger of Miracles. They're going to rotate towards the mid lane. Mind Control takes a free tower as a result. But LFY for now seem to be aware that something ain't right. They've backed up very far. Matumba Man and GH out in front. The Vanguard bringing up 3rd position in this gank is Miracle. He'll send an Illusion marching out into the lane. The Illusion does not have his Blink Dagger, by the way. I believe he dropped it before committing the rune, so just little plays for Miracle to be as sneaky as possible. But, I mean, at this point, LFY almost certainly suspect this item is ready anyway.
Yeah, they should be on the eye for it, but the Observer Ward close to that Tier 2 Radiant Tower could provide some good vision for Liquid to play around, but maybe a Darkseer headed by himself to the bottom lane could be a target they want to go on.
He does have the raindrops. They'll need to commit a decent amount to kill him off. And at this tower, maybe you get the Darkseer and then get caught by the big combo, so you gotta be cautious about how you dive.
Teamfight is not something that will end all too well for Liquid at this point if they're not getting a good clean jump, killing one hero right off the bat, and then ideally setting things up for a second pick. If ultis start flying from LFY, you're not going to match up well. They don't need items, they just need levels, and they've got those levels. Supports both level 6, level 8 on Disruptor.
You can feel the pressure, though, that Liquid are under right now. They need to make something happen. Just 2 smokes committed. One netted them a tower, but this Tier 2 is almost certain to be defended. So if they don't get that opening kill, they fight headlong into the combo.
Oh, Miracle pops the smoke.
But the ward as well as the positioning by Miracle is right. They know someone's around the trees. They don't want to go for it. Still, they muster the defense. And actually, Liquid trying to go in on this. They have to be careful about how they approach. Who gets the jump? Miracle wants it. He's thinking about it. Mind control out in front. Static Storm dropped. It's a complete whiff by DDC, though it is a bit of a zoning ultimate now, trapping Mind Control apart from his team. Now the static, or excuse me, the Ghost come out from Super and he jumps onto Mind Control. Where's the backup? There's the Chrono. He found 4, but they need the follow-up too. No Kunkka Boat, no Static Storm. It's just the Ghost to do the work. Miracle has Echo. He hangs onto it, dropping low, not gonna get it off. And Matumba Man, almost dead, stays alive. Monet needs one more hit. He can't get it yet, but Kuro falls 5 down and only the Bloodseeker to scurry back. I mean, not even really the big combo gods. LFY don't have to hit that 5-man Chrono, Boat, Static Storm. It's like just hit 1 or 2 of your spells and you take the fight.
You'll take the 4-man Chrono. That was something. 4-man Chrono. The Crypt Swarm also came out catching 4. It was a beautiful play from Monet on the Faceless Void. Static Storm being wasted, as you said. Doesn't matter if you don't get every ultimate, as long as you get a couple of them, and boy, were Liquid grouped up for that one.
I mean, was it even really wasted? It did zone Liquid back. Like they couldn't protect the Bristleback.
They wanted to jump the Darkseer. When they throw that Rupture to start off, whoever gets Ruptured, they ideally want to be jumping and bursting down, but they weren't able to protect the Bristle or finish off Darkseer, and the end result is fantastic as LFY win a big fight, getting them up, doubling Liquid's kills, although they aren't ahead in gold right now. It doesn't really feel like that's a problem for them. They just have to wait for their ultis to come back up, take another team fight, force an objective, and Liquid don't have the best tools to take those.
Generally, when you see the big team fight ults on cooldown, that is where the team that lacks the advantage in the 5v5 looks to pressure. Can Liquid be doing that right now? Is there a move they can make around the map? They'll try for bottom. They find DDC, and Chant Totem will quickly kill off the Raptor. So a nice pick there by Liquid, and it feels like they're going to need more of that.
Something I think Liquid are looking at this game, like their team fight's so insane, we have to farm a lot of items to hold our own. So even though those ultis on cooldown, they're much more inclined to farm up their pipe on Bristle, farm up like their Slugger's Blink Dagger, get some more items on Bloodseeker. Like they're actually just going to be playing keep away. When your opponents have their ultis down, you also know like you're a bit safe to split up and farm. You don't have to play grouped up as much.
Have another look at Monet farming.
Damn, that was a hype replay.
Oh yeah. That was how ugly the fight was for Liquid. They can't even show it again. And not fit for family entertainment.
This Lincoln's coming up. Not amazing game for the Lincolns by any means, but it's just like a stat item that gives you a bit of sustain so you can farm more. Might block like a Frostbite or something, which could be very useful since it is maxed out Frostbite.
Sneaky, sneaky from LFY. Looks like they want to make something happen. Mind Control could be walking into their clutches any moment. He shows himself mid. They started off with an X, and now the setup can begin. Now the boat crashes through. Monet's in position to drop the Chrono, and he looks for heroes behind enemy lines. He baits out GH's stun. They don't commit the big team fight combo. They hold the Chrono. They did drop the Exorcism. It got some damage on the tower. kind of feels like they need to get more out of this. Liquid are pushing forward, thrusting into position, but I think they're liable to wait for this ult to end before they really go in.
It's not the ideal way to use that exorcism. The follow-up damage wasn't there. They weren't willing to commit. They could theoretically Chrono the Bristle and try and bring him down. But the problem is, even if that works, you put yourselves in a position where you've just used maybe a couple too many ultis.
Beware the totem. They've seen Miracle. He pounces like that, but he does get silenced. He's not able to follow up and combo Afu down. Now the Chrono Torrent's there. They need more damage. Super doesn't have the Ghost to assist him. Is it going to be enough? From behind comes the wall. Karate chops. Not enough to finish off Matumba Man. The Crystal Maiden all doing what it can.
Gets the time
hanging on for now, but the AoE damage from LFY. Can they finish the job with Ion Shells? Not quite able to do it. The Blood Red forces them back. 3 have fallen for LFY. My kingdom for a Death Prophet ult has to be the call. They all would have fallen for sure. Either that or a boat. They had neither there, and Liquid outmaneuver LFY in a critical team fight.
Such a great punish, using that exorcism mid and wasting it for no tower, no kills. Liquid immediately look to force things around the Roshan pit. Miracle's Invis rune, enabling a good position. Even if the Radiant Sentry was there, he still managed to get a good initiation off, and the end result was fantastic for Liquid.
And now straight towards the pit, but LFY want to fight this. Monet does have his Lincoln Sphere. Afu moves in, jumping forward, trying to get to work here with the boat crashing through. Matumba Man's low, the Roche not dead yet. They've got to get this Aegis secured. Monet lunges in, but Mind Control grabs it. He might end up dropping. Monet's pretty healthy in the pit. He stands. The back. The bash comes through. They need more damage. Everyone on Liquid shreds of HP, but they continue to fight. They churn their way forward, crushing through. Monet's gonna drop. Beautiful chain stun. Beautiful team play. LFY are reeling now.
That is just a chain feed coming out from LFY. Nothing really much else to call it. They're just running in one by one. They recognize the dire situation they're in. Like, this Roche is important. We're meant to have the better team fight. Let's go. But they're going one by one. They're not using their ultimates. They're not playing as a team, LD. And that is not the LFY we saw dominate the group stage. And thanks to Liquid's disruptive play, the chaos of the Bristleback, the Bloodseeker, and this Core Shaker, LFY not looking good.
Kuro in a bit far here. Perhaps will be a bait though as the trap is sprung. Static Storm from behind. DDC turns things around a Miracle. Now the Spirit Siphon combined with the Yules, but Super's low and Super's dead. Completely brought down. Matumba made a Miracle combining for the burst. Now Monet comes in. Needs the bash of Miracle. Needs the control. The fissure again. Miracle hanging on. He's got the mana for an echo, but time walking forward. It's not going to happen. Even if he echoed, wouldn't be a kill. So they do lose their prized Shaker. Did cost them a Death Prophet. Trading from this disadvantage may be worth it, but with the buyback there in the DP gods, they need more. The tower gets ping mid, and that will be the objective. Without a Shaker buyback, unlikely Liquid will hold this.
Yeah, they want maybe even multiple towers with the exorcism up. Problem is, Mind Control's Aegis enables him to just run in frontline. He's very hard to kill once, so you're not killing him twice.
I mean, Aegis is the counter to the massive team fight, right?
They got to back off. They can't even take a T1 tower with a dead Earthshaker because Bristol's got this Aegis.
And they don't know he doesn't have buyback either. Like, if they commit to that and then Miracle buys back, could be all she wrote for this push. So they'll play it safe. They'll collect themselves and slow things down. LFY have definitely had a bad couple of fights here, gods. Down 7K gold, 23 minutes in. We talked about their big team fight. On paper, it's great late game. Can they just relax here? Can they just slow the pace of the game down? As I say that, Liquid are not interested in giving them that kind of opportunity.
Yeah.
Bam!
They'd like to slow it down, but as he said, Liquid are going to just keep jumping them. They're going to look to face rush, play around the Aegis, play around their gold lead, knowing they're going to be looking around like, damn, we're really scary and tanky right now. How are they meant to fight us? Our Bristle's huge. So they're just going to keep running at LFY and bursting down this Death Prophet. This Death Prophet is looking like paper right now.
The Blood Rage and Chant Totems are going to be brutal as this game goes along. That's a great way to counter Death Prophet.
That's a dieback LD.
Just instantly burst. They're out for 30. They have the rest of the combo. Can they fight without the exorcism? Certainly they don't want it to go just to mind control.
See Kuro. These two heroes missing. Vacuum, Chrono. Watch out. Do not group up. That is what Kuro is telling his team. This is how we lose.
They're showing the
fight.
Void. The Void was just pushing top For now, the Torrent committed, and Miracle jumps in. He is slightly out of position now. He's got to get 4-step back down to the road ground. DDC can reel him back in, but the Blood Right is there to try and protect him. Static Storm committed, and the bubble's in place. They need the damage. Locking Miracle in position. Bo comes through. Vacuum as well. Death Prophet not there. Will they have the firepower? The fight rages on him. Monet has to walk it off. Backs away to safety. Mind control low. Finally supers into the fray. Chasing out the pesky Bristle. Can they finish the job? Kuro with the TP. Canceled by the glimpse. The Yules is going to hold that Porcupine in position. A Torrent crashes through and down he goes. They killed him once. Can they kill him again? They've got the Exorcism ready. GH looking to salvage this fight. They commit the Exorcism. They lock him down. Tough to TP when you've got a Void on the case, but beware the Blood Right. They force them back. Nice play there by Matumba, assisting the Bristle on the way out. Meanwhile, the fight's gotten scattered as Inflame was hunting GH. He'll make it back too.
They just can't find a good Exorcism, LD.
So many ults used there, but
they hold the high ground, but that Exorcism again, we're just seeing it being used like, oh, I'm going to use it on the Bristle, and then he immediately realizes after he pops it, oh wait, I can't kill this Bristle. A great hold from the high ground coming out of the Void mostly, but again, we don't see Super really using his hero to its full potential.
Oh, Blink Dagger on the faceless Void. They might have a lot of other setup for this Chrono, but he wants to ensure he can start the fights. The problem is GH had that invis, and now Enchant Totem looking to follow up this fissure. Miracle, though, trapped in the trees. It doesn't seem to matter. The Torrent's too late, and down goes the DP. Again, no buyback. Again, out for 50, though. Truth be told, how much would it matter? With no Exorcism, could be trouble. Rupture, fissure, crush, connection. They want more. They've got Inflame. It's all coming apart at the seams for LFY. Boat comes in. Monet doing what he can. He's been the stalwart frontliner, and LFY need him to come up all aces now. Static Storm ready. Boat a low cooldown. That's to be sure. 40 seconds and counting till that's ready. DP up in 18.
They just want this tower, I want to say. Yep.
With a Chant Totem, they'll get it rather quickly. The Torrent connects again. Threatening for the combo, but Liquid are not buying that bluff. They will finally knock it down.
DDC looking for a glimpse. Not gonna find it though. They can take these shrines as a team if they'd like, although maybe a little bit risky with some of these respawns, but they know Exorcism not up quite yet.
Liquid playing this one very well down the stretch. Making the right calls, taking risks when they need to, not letting LFY play their 5-man game, but maybe that changes
now. They know their smoke. They just put a ward on right on by their sentry.
Miracle.
Liquid.
It was Miracle again. Second time he's broken the smoke and gotten out safe. It's been devastating that LFY can't seem to find a clean pick, and now Liquid are looking for the reply. Mind control out in front. From the low ground, he walks, but LFY also dodging away. They did get to deward that hill, so some semblance of vision for them as they want to hold on to this tier 2 top. They're still going to march out.
Need to find a way to get their team fight rolling, get everything working together.
Well, this is one way. Just 5-man everywhere. Liquid are looking for the punish. They do have the blink on the Darkseer as well. So it's a blink Darkseer, a blink Void. I mean, all the combination potential in the world. You get the Vac into Static Storm, the Boat to follow up, the Chrono can begin the fights with his Blink Dagger as well. Like, any order of operations, if executed properly by LFY, sounds great on paper. Problem is, Liquid keep on getting the jump. And there's certain heroes that you don't really want to drop that combo on. The Bloodseeker being one, and I think especially the Bristleback being the other.
Bristle's super tanky. Shaker is also surprisingly hard to kill. That level 10 strength talent, the treads, the 4-staff. He's very elusive, hard to kill, and 2.1k HP. There's quite a bit to go through. That's something that draft maybe doesn't have a whole lot of. It's just single target burst damage. Echo, super, goodbye, good night.
Meet the totem. Not to Super's liking. Miracle taking pages out of the Book of Sumail and
he's trapped.
Studying him closely as Monet finds himself in the trees. The Blood Right comes through. Great 4-staff, bringing him back to safer ground. DDC with the savvy plays, but has this put the rest of the team into harm's way? Boat comes in, connects on GH. They're going to take down the Slardar nice and early. Time walking back towards safer ground. The chase is in for mind control, and the death of Afu means trouble for LFY. Down too early. They've only taken down the Slardar in return. DDC trying to retreat, but Miracle again, the totems just wrecking LFY. Half your health gone in an instant. Towers next. Liquid are surging. It might be back and forth in gold or in, trades on paper, but map control is just all Liquids right now.
That is concerning. I'm not sure even why they just glyph there as well. A Radiant glyph wasted? That is almost a play coming from tilt from LFY, dare I say it. Wasted glyphs, wasted exorcisms, everyone just making small little mistakes here. The pressure of the main stage perhaps getting to this young team, some inexperience in a few of their players, if some veterans elsewhere, but as a team they have not been playing together for all too long, and they're not showing the same composure as this Liquid squad.
Still, their high ground is pretty terrifying, so Liquid respect it. They're gonna play it patiently. Looks like wait for the next Roche.
Wait for some BKBs. Try and teamfight us when we've got BKB on Bristle and Earthshaker, says Liquid.
The damage through that is pretty minimal. It's the exorcism and it's the void right clicks, and a decent chunk of those are magic damage at that. So tough to take the fight.
And you're not scared of the exorcism when you can blow up Super in like 2 seconds.
I mean, let's be honest. You're not scared of the exorcism. Period. Right now, Super has been underwhelming at best with this Death Prophet so far.
7 deaths. He's been in 16 of the 20 kills. A lot of kill involvement from him. Very active, but you don't really want to be dying this much on a Death Prophet, and you don't want to be behind on farm. Number 6 on net worth. This is a hero that when you're under farm, you can't really effectively team fight, because being under farm means you're very squishy. You need to stay alive as a Death Prophet to dish out exorcism damage, and that's something Super is going to struggle to do.
Liquid looking for the Roche now, and LFY just giving it up freely. It's all about the high ground for LFY gods. They've got some wards outside the base. Maybe we see them try for one of those smokes, but by and large, their smoke plays have just been easily anticipated by Liquid, sniffed out, and completely shut down.
LFY charging forward. Do have a Radiant ward here. They'd love to catch Miracle,
but there's a dire ward seeing this movement.
You see him for a second, then he's gone. The Arcane Rune giving him those low cooldowns on his Blink Shadow Blade escape spells, and well, Liquid draw lines. Let's just push out all 3 lanes. Let's not just grab the Aegis Cheese and just all in down 1 lane, but why not at least get all 3 lanes in a decent position, take this last shrine. Very methodical play coming out from Liquid. The Captain Kuro outlining a recipe for success. Seeing a clear win condition and a safe way to play this game out, to punish LFY, starve them, keep them in their base, and you may have this crazy team fight, but it's an 18,000 gold lead, and if you don't leave your base, that 18,000 gold lead will quickly turn into a 25,000, a 30,000 gold lead. We saw it in the EG Secret Jar Ranger game.
Flame, not again. GH there, looking for the punish enchant totem. Not quite connecting for the aftershock stun. Brings him down to half. Blood right, just clipping him somehow. Looked like he was barely outside the range, but not the case. Matumbo will get him.
Oh boy. That is not what you want to see. Your core heroes getting picked off outside the map. That's where things for Liquid continue to look better and better. The Bristle in the bottom lane going to push a tier 2 tower. SMY, Vanguard Hood, and AC queued up, playing more of the carry style of Bristle back, recognizing they need someone to help hit high ground buildings. And also, everything is going very well for the Liquid side. No need to get too many defensive items.
Well, thank you very much. I'll take that. Miracle says, now hitting for about 700 plus an attack with that enchant totem, and that is before the BKB, not taking into account the minus armor that Mr. Slardar brings to the table. So Liquid get the siege started. They're gonna leave Mind Control in front, Lotus Orb covering him as he whacks away at the tower, already down to half HP. Monet finds the timely bash, the X comes through as well. Blood right though, zones nicely to counter this, and Mind Control keeps the push going. He goos up Monet. Dilation, gonna be a nuisance for sure.
They've got the Lotus Orb though.
Yeah, interesting pickup from the Bloodseeker.
That's something that can at least help counter it to some extent, and I love the decision. Give the Aegis to your hero that's hitting the high ground. You don't want Shaker in the front hitting buildings. Bristle's actually the best hero to do that, so they give Mind Control the Aegis, and he can just keep chipping away at this tier 3 tower, and bit by bit, LFY gonna be losing this one.
Slow but steady. As the Rupture commit, Liquid don't want to start the fight just yet, but they Hold in flame in position for now. From the side comes Monet. He looks for the chrono. Ooh, could have been disastrous. He holds on to it though. Does he get caught on the retreat? Looks like he'll reset, but this is all buying time for that Bristleback who has been single-minded in his focus. Torrent, nice timing there on the Glimmer Cape. And Liquid still patient as they look to close out LFY. That first lane of racks still awaiting them, but now 2 lanes exposed.
Still a minute and a half on this Aegis.
And they're doing this right before the Assault Cuirass, so it could be a lot worse for LFY if he had it.
I mean, even if it was level 20, he'd be hitting with that 50 extra attack speed would be insane too, but AC coming out in the courier.
And Mind Control is going for melee.
Miracle's looking for a pick in mid, but not going to find it.
I think may have gotten clipped by an X there. No, I guess not. He'll make it back. Mind Control.
He's going for the melee racks.
Still going for it. Somebody's got to engage on this Bristleback. He's out of mana, which means it's even harder for Monet to kill him off. And while LFY are hesitating, Liquid are making decisive moves. The glimpse back on that Slardar brings him to a safer low ground, and now the blink back. Where's the combo? The only Matumba man caught within the chrono, and he's BKB'd at that. So tanky, so difficult to bring down. All the while, the Exorcism goes out, the boat crashes in. It's a discombobulated team fight from LFY. They're getting nothing done.
They get the Bristle. He's going to get the racks, LD.
I mean, even if they kill him, doesn't matter at that. Finally, Mind Control being hit by the Exorcism Spirit Siphon too, but Miracle drops the hammer, or should I say the totem, and down goes Super 2. 3 have fallen, all ults expended. LFY now on the ropes as Liquid fight forward. They want this shot at EG in the Grand Finals, and they can smell it. They can taste it. They can feel it in their bones. They're so close. Fissure crashes in again. They stay in LFY's base. They look to make it their own. Matumba chewing away on Super. Static Storm there. But where's the damage? Where is the damage for LFY? They just don't seem to have it yet.
They're slowly
Mind
doing
Control continuing to chase forward. Chewing through off Boo. About to make him go out Chew, and down he goes. He will get killed off. A little bit overextended. Have Liquid overplayed their hand? It seems they may have. Now Mind Control's on the run. Finally 4 have fallen. Bristle going the wrong way. That's not your fountain, Mind Control. That's not your base, my friend. LFY serve up a reminder. This game ain't entirely over yet. A full team wipe, but they did lose the racks.
4 buybacks used.
They got 500
LD.
gold out of that fight. 500 gold.
I'm not...
Come back. Come back any minute.
Not so sure about that one.
Well,
Mr.
it's either
Goldman.
that or you just GG, right?
Yeah, you stay in this game. You know, you're kind of... You've stabilized a little bit in terms of like where you're at. You've maintained, you're plateauing the gold lead right now. It's been at 22, 23K for a while now. You don't lose the game, but you've chewed through 4 buybacks. Death Prophet remains dirt poor. The Chronosphere just wasn't delivered from Monet. He had some great ones early in the game. That one was just not to be. And you've got to start worrying if you're LFY about where is that big team fight synergy that they showed so many times, time and time again throughout the group stage. Even in game 1 they were showcasing it, but this game it has not been there. Key levels being picked up. Bloodseeker level 20 gets the extra rupture damage. Bristleback level 21 now has his attack speed bonus. It is going to be even more difficult to take these next couple of fights.
If Liquid want to slow roll this, they can potentially just wait for that Aegis at the same time. Knowing that 4 buybacks have been used, any kill here is a potential GG push with the mid lane already exposed. So Matumba Man will show himself mid. He's got the BKB, but Monet's got the jump. This time the Chrono preempts the BKB. They need the burst damage to bring him down. GH cuts them off from behind, but the Static Storm's there. Matumba low, he scurries back. Monet still diving for him, and Miracle came in. He did grab the Disruptor, though. It was after the Static Storm got committed, so not the biggest loss in the world, as Mind Control takes the Spirit Siphon and the bashes to the rear again and again, bashing and controlling. Still staying in this fight, LGD, not long enough. Nothing left in the tank with 4 diebacks, putting a cap on it. Liquid surge into the Grand Finals, 2-0 for them. Now EG awaits. Who are the real boys in blue?
Woo. Liquid showing how to play against a very heavy team fight draft, doing so just by out-farming, out-maneuvering LFY. You get these big leads, and that Bristle boss in the front lines couldn't be dealt with. A few too many wasted ultimates, and few too many times where they were just trying to initiate on the bristleback when he was not the target you wanted to go on. He'd show himself in the front line. Death probably would run in, Exorcism would be like, wait a second, I'm not killing this guy. And it's a waste of Exorcism. Liquid, they were so good at punishing the Exorcism use, and LFY just did not have a solution for it.
It really felt like LGD had a fine draft this game. The lanes went honestly okay. They didn't really get crushed all that heavily, all things considered. They just weren't able to execute down the stretch. Liquid outplayed them. Liquid were more confident. Liquid had the right timing. Everything went their way. And now we'll hear what Kuroki has to say.
You're in the final. Almost nobody believed in you. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And now, what are your plans for tomorrow?
Sorry, again?
What are your plans for tomorrow?
To win.
Oh. Он сказал выиграть завтра. Congratulations. Ну что?
A very short interview, LD.
Yeah, and a man of few words there. Kuroki, it's not enough to win this match. Liquid want to take home one of the top events. You know, there was Manila Masters, and now there's Epicenter. These events have been absolutely stacked from top to bottom, and you beat EG. At that point, there's no question. Liquid gets the TI invite. They may have already earned it with this win, but they want the win here at Epicenter.
Yeah, that's what this team was built around. You've got such a star-studded roster, bringing in Miracle from their old team, from the previous form of Liquid, and I think this is where Liquid right now haven't been able to find that big breakout. They've won a couple Starlights. They really want that bigger event. They want an Epicenter. They want to show that they should be a TI and that they're one of the best teams in the world. They're very close to it. EG stand in their way, though.
Well, a big step here on the path towards an Epicenter win, Alex. They take the series. They'll be facing EG tomorrow in the Grand Finals.
The Liquid Horse gallops to the Grand Finals in just 2, and revenge is struck, not forgetting they met LFY, their adversaries in the group stage, and could not complete it. This time, second time's the charm, as they are going to be very, very happy. Short interview, yes, with Kuroki, but he's already told us with his very minimal statement that this is not enough for them, and the Grand Finals is where they plan to lift that trophy. Joining me on the panel, we have Purge, Fogged, and Winter, and we're going to be trying to wrap this one up and comprehend why we need to get a knife and fork and eat our words, Kevin, because we felt like a third was coming.
Yeah, the lineup that LFY had was really good for team fights. Right. Like Chronosphere plus DP ulti plus the supports to back them up. It looked on paper like they were going to win every team fight. But the way that Liquid played it was very spread out. It was anti-mobility basically with Rupture. They put it on the DP, and then she can't just chase people around endlessly. And the one hero that's going to get in the front of them and try to get them to focus on them was Bristleback. So it was like they could offset the damage, they could consistently kite, and they also grabbed a Slardar to basically make those tanky frontliners more killable.
And I think the question has to be, what more can LFY do, Winter? They took what was so intimidating away from them. They got rid of the Darkseer that we were talking about from Mind Control, saying just how much influence that had in Game 1. They take it. We sit here and say that's a better draft, and still they concede.
It was a better draft, but they played really badly. Like, the teamwork was abysmal. The Darkseer, definitely not a hero that I think Inflame plays a lot. Like, he did not look comfortable as a hero at all. They missed a few of, like, very crucial combos with the vacuum, and they played really badly. Like, too many mistakes, like a lot of wasted ultimates from like, actually one of the most important wasted ultimates was the one at near Roshan. They popped ultimate, they ran in, they didn't start a fight because they focused on the Bristleback first. They started the fight on the Bristleback, which are a target that you should not want to initiate on first. And yeah, cooldown based lineup, you use your spells and you did not get any objectives done.
Yeah. So I feel like when you see, like, this was, we said the lanes were, like, okay, but when I see Earthshaker take a Death Prophet's tower at 7 minutes, I'm already feeling some concern, just in that one laning thing. But I feel like you guys touched on, this Bristle was a huge problem because they had nobody to kind of, like, start the fights for LFY. They had, like, this kind of thing happen, like, this was a great fight, but getting through that Bristleback was such a huge problem for them.
Outrageous when you're in the grand scheme of things. You can look over Liquid, you'll see that Miracle, you talk about that Shaker, he had an absurd kill participation. 12 kills, 16 assists, with just 33.
Yeah, this is the fight that DP wasted the ultimate a lot earlier, and now Liquid ran into LGD FY. They got a pretty good chrono off, but no DP ultimate, so wasn't able to finish up any of the heroes here.
And the Disruptor and the Kunkka had died initially, so if they had the follow-up there from them at least, then the fight could have probably gone a bit differently, but they got initiated on by a quick Blink Echo.
Now, we expected to see Super have some degree of lane dominance, is that correct? Just in terms of pushing the tower at least, not necessarily in the fight.
The matchup is really good for him, like it's a DP against a melee hero.
Right.
Like losing the lane, he got out CS by Earthshaker, he lost his tower. Yeah, you can say that the Slara did help out Earthshaker like for like 2 creep waves at the start of the game, but still, you expect more from a DP against Earthshaker.
And like not only just that, but like when I'm seeing like these Darkseers playing a lot of the times, like we see that kind of combo coming out, right? Like you see a Chrono, then you see the Darkseer come up and like vacuum a couple of them into it, and then the rest of the spells come out. I felt like it was like the Void jumps in, and it was really a lot of the times you didn't see all the follow up, the nice like unison cohesion coming out.
The Darkseer wasn't initiating Mero, like I said, like he didn't look comfortable on the hero at all. They had so many heroes to start a fight. They start a fight with X-Mark, and he could have easily just ran up vacuum into the Disruptor, and Void would have been able to follow up nicely, but it was always the Void starting the fights. That's not a good sign.
So the dream initiation is with Kunkka and Void, is that correct?
More like they all group, you get a Chronosphere into boat
into
combo.
everything.
Maybe
You want your Chrono to be the last spell cast, so that and all the enemy has already committed into the fight. Then you're always gonna get a really good Chrono after that.
Yeah.
But it is hard to do that against a Bristleback though, especially when he's up in the front hitting the buildings. Like they still did get. Oh, I mean, this is a really good fight for them as well. But fortunately, the boat didn't quite hit the middle of the.
But the thing is, this point is like they already lost like 1 or 2 key fights. If they didn't lose like key fights before that, they would not have been in like a position like this. Like the Bristleback wouldn't have been that bad. Like the fights that they lost gave away the enemy too much, and Bristleback got really farmed. He wasn't that farmed from the laning phase itself. He was doing okay. wasn't too poor, wasn't too fat. Still manageable for LGD. But after the 2 botch team fights, they just got too rich.
Yeah, I feel like